What's going on, y'all? So listen. So we are back with being Mary Jane. Listen. This episode annoyed the hell out of me. You want to know why? Because Mary Jane is such a fuck ass friend sometimes. All right, you are literally going with someone that hurt your friend. Okay, and didn't really have to be. Kara, it was not Kara's responsibility to look at that stuff. That was Rhonda's stuff. And Kara was basically a casualty of war. She just so happened she was an innocent bystander that just got taken out, trying to take Rhonda down. And this whole game that Justin is playing, I am not buying it. All of a sudden, you so into Mary Jane and y'all this couple, but yet you don't want to tell nobody what's going on and all this shit. Then you got Kara still going through this arbitration, right? Kara going through this arbitration and she gets her lawyer to take the arbitrator out, okay? Because he's up there talking about stuff that really don't matter. Trying to put her down for being in the skybox and having a boyfriend that's a baseball player and having designer clothes and things of that such. So they get that taken care of. And it seems as if things going to be going the right way. Then all of a sudden, Garrett wants what's his face to come in and give a testimony the next day about Carol's work ethics, saying that she actually was the one that fucked up on this piece that Rhonda did, and they want him to testify about that. And I'm just sitting here like, girl, y'all don't see what's going on. Like, Mary Jane, how can you be with somebody like that? And he don't want to tell anybody. And it's more so at one point, um, he do go testify. I'm speaking through this because the episode really wasn't much. He does testify, and he starts it off as if everything was all to the good, giving her praise, saying that she's such a good producer. She's the best at what she's done. All her stories have been remarkable, which surprised me as to how come she neglected to do the research that she's supposed to have done or whatever on this case with Rhonda about this homeless woman or whoever it was. And she was like, that wasn't my story, and when I got it, it was already on my desk saying that it was already researched through. Okay, she came in at tail end of that shit. But then he brought up another point. He said, well, you took over Aaron's story and you went back and did research, and you didn't have to, but you did it anyway. So how come you couldn't do it for this one? And I said, damn. So that's the one that's going to put the nail in the coffin all of a sudden, because Gary does not want the company. The whole thing is they don't want to pay Kara any money that she deserves. All right, y'all fired her. Y'all don't want to pay out her contract, so y'all trying to make her look bad, and therefore give the company a footing so that they won't have to adjust their budget to pay this money out to her. And so that's why they wanted whatchamacallit to go up in there and testify against her. And so when this happens, Mary Jane finds this out, and the whole time Mary Jane is lying to her friend about this whole situation in the first place. And this is why I feel like Mary Jane is trash, because Kara has done nothing but have her back through everything, thick and thin. When Mary Jane be wrong as shit, Kara is still there. Kara may judge a little bit, but Kara gonna be that friend that's gonna tell you what it is about yourself that's fucked up. But she still gonna, regardless of how bad you fucked up, she still gonna be there for you. Okay, she not gonna throw it in your face. She gonna tell you about yourself. Girl, do you understand what you just did? Why would you do something like that? You deserve better and all this stuff. After she get that out, in the next second, she gonna be trying to help you get out of that situation and help you feel better. And you couldn't give Mary Jane, you couldn't give Kara that same respect. Like, Mary Jane is such a selfish ass person, if you ask me. It's all about her, and it's always been about her. And see, I feel like that's what, I don't know if that's a stereotype that they're trying to put on blast about how, especially women, but most of all black women, you can't have it all. You can't have a good relationship outside of work and have work too. You can't have a great career and then have great relationships on the side. It's either or, one or the other. And we see that Mary Jane is so fucking gung-ho about her career and the things that she want to do before a certain time, and a lot of the stuff is not going the way that she planned on it going. But it just make her appear to be in certain situation a selfish person. It's always about her. Even in her relationships, it's not about the other person. With the guys that she's in, it's always about her. It really is. She take precedence over her mate. It's not equal. Okay. Even with thing with Lee, it wasn't equal. um so eventually Mary Jane tells, choose Justin out about this. And he tells her that, I was trying to do my job. Justin got chewed out by Kara and said, bitch, you came up in here trying to take people down. First you took down Rhonda, now you taking down me. Who's next? Mary Jane. Okay, why would you do some shit like this to me? He said, bitch, if you would stop playing victim, you would see what's going on and you probably would have been in somewhere better already, in a better position. And I was like, is Kara, let's pose that question. Is Kara really playing victim, or what? Do y'all feel like she was unjustly fired? Okay, I don't feel like she's playing victim. I mean, I can see where it's coming from, but bitch, I would be pissed off too if I've done the work that I'm supposed to do, and in my contract it don't tell me that I need to go above and beyond and do anybody else's work. Like, if you give me something, it's supposed to already be done. But see, I'm the type of person that will double check anyway. So maybe I can see it from that end, but still, she was unjustly fired if you ask me. Okay, because Kara has always been on her shit. And for him to say that, stop playing victim and shit, she feeling a type of way. She already can't stand him. All right. And then you couple on the fact that Mary Jane is keeping this relationship from her, lying to her, saying that Lee is the one that broke up with her. And when they go over there to Orlando in her house, she fake crying and all this stuff. And I'm sitting here like, damn, Mary Jane, you can't even be convincing enough, because I knew that shit was bullshit. Even if I would have just came in and didn't even see the whole season, I would have knew that shit was bullshit. And when she left, Kara knew that she was lying. And she even popped up at her apartment building to know that she was lying. She's got Lee's tweets on deck, coming to her phone and shit. And she's like, this don't sound like a man who's heartbroken over breaking up with somebody that he claims to be in love with and all this stuff, that wanted to have a child. Baby, Mary Jane is trash. And let me tell you one reason why. Because not only did she sit there and lie and say that Lee broke up with her, she lied and told the story that the hairstylist told her. He said that his husband broke up with him. They were in the process of, signing surrogacy papers because they was in the process of having a baby. And he just said he couldn't do it, served him divorce papers and all this stuff. Why she told that same story to Kara in Orlando about her breakup with Lee as if it happened to her. I said, why are you trying to make this man look like a trash ass nigga? Okay, he wasn't perfect in this shit, but he ain't do no shit like that. That is just bullshit, alright? I said, Mary Jane, you are just a bird, bitch. You really are. Okay? And you should know your friend. She knew right off the back when she was lying. And I love friends like that. I really do love friends like that, because that shows that you actually care and y'all been together for a minute. Y'all know each other telltale signs when you tell the truth, when you lying, when you going through some stuff. And Kara knew that shit right off the bat. Mary Jane, how come you didn't know she was going to see through your bullshit? All right? And so when Kara finally finds out that she broke up with him, she was just a little bit over it, sent her ass back home, but she let that shit go. She let it go. Of course, Mary Jane chewed up into, like I said, Justin's ass about this firing of Kara, and then talking about her testimony and all this stuff, and making him feel a certain way about it. So he goes back and he goes to Garrett and tells him, because Garrett is all happy, like, whatever it is that you said, your testimony helped and it's going our way. He said, you know what? I mean, that's all cool and good, but I don't feel like this gonna be the thing that's gonna drive it home. And she got this woman's thing, going with her. This only female in the work office that's doing this, producing stuff, and so I think we need to do something else that will actually prevent us from paying out any type of settlement to her. So what is the solution to that? Give the bitch the job back and bump her up to a senior producer. You know what I'm saying? So basically, Justin is sharing his title that he loves, okay? And he did all of this to make it seem as if he's appeasing and, doing something for Mary Jane. And I'm just not buying it. I am just not buying it. Like, Justin came on kind of shady, and the stuff that, I don't know, it's just, I don't know. And then they trying to come up with different correspondents to come work with them on the show. And because one of the girls got fired. One of the girls got fired because she wasn't testing well. So they was trying to find Mary Jane putting out there, let's get a black person. And Justin realized that no, they're not going to hire no other black people. We the two, that's it. So they both put up these white people, his guy and her girl. His guy basically bombed out. Her girl looked like everything was going good. Then they get this interview. See, this is the aspect of being Mary Jane that I actually liked from the very beginning. They try to incorporate type of stories that's been going on and actual real events that's been going on in our reality, in the real world, into the show. So you have this girl, Mary Jane is in her office looking at this viral video of this girl, Danny Hollins, okay? And she's talking about all this alt-right, bullshit, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting here like, right off the jump, I said, that's Tori, what's her name, Tommy Loren, or whatever the fuck her name. I said, ain't this some shit? The same bullshit, the same MO. White girl, blind, internet sensation. She get popularity putting out this dumb stuff, giving opinion pieces. They bring her on the show, and she's talking. And usually, if Mary Jane was 2 seasons ago, Mary Jane back in S&C, and going in on people, she would have told that little white girl up about her opinions and talking about, because she said, I'm just working for the people who helped build this country. She was like, girl, who you talking about? She was like, the teachers, the farmers, the teamsters, and all that stuff. And I said, Justin was like, so she ain't talking about the underprivileged and black folks. She ain't talking about them. And that would have been the moment where Mary Jane would have went the fuck in, okay? In a couple moments in that interview, she would have went in and told her down. But Mary Jane had calmed herself down, and she didn't go there. She had to hold back. And I was kind of mad, but I understood because she's in a different field right now, okay? But I want that Mary Jane to come back where she just tear people's asses up, all right? And so, because of this whole thing, since they couldn't agree, Justin and Mary Jane couldn't agree on the choice for the replacement correspondent, Gary decides to take it up to the brass, to the big boss, and they all discussed and they enjoyed the interview because Danny brings in a lot of subscribers, a lot of views on her channel, and so she also brought in the same type of views in response to the ratings of the show, and they have picked her to be the replacement correspondent. I said, ain't this about a bitch? It's gonna be some shit. Y'all know it's gonna be button heads and stuff like that. And Mary Jane thought her girl had it. And they was like, no, because come to find out the other co-anchor, Aaron, her girl and Aaron had a relationship. And it was like, office relationships are messy. We don't really want to do that here. Mind you, she got a little scared or whatever because her and Justin are in a relationship and they don't want people to know about it. But we see in the next episode, people gonna know. They're gonna be talking and looking, and they gonna try to call them out on their shit. Like, listen, Aaron said, so I see what you two did with Rhonda trying to get her ass out of here. Ain't no way in hell you gonna try to do that to me. I said, well, fuck. And you know what? I'm not even mad at it, okay? Sometimes you need a dose of your own goddamn medicine, all right? So, what ended up happening over in Atlanta, we see Niecy kicking it. Was that Dante baby mama, the other one that was riding around in the car that she brought him? Okay, I said, so y'all good Judies now. I mean, to be quite honest, they didn't know about each other. So I don't see and they kids are siblings. So he was playing both of them. And I don't see the reason why they couldn't be friends. And I think it's kind of cool that they are, friends. They not fucking a nigga, but they being buddies and all that stuff, going out to the clubs. Niecy talking to broke niggas and shit like that. She on dating apps and stuff. And saying that everybody is trash, trash, trifling, trifling. She changes her profile to make it seem as if she's in New York, and she finds this tatted up dude. I said, all right, Niecy, get it in. Niecy is gonna made her grandma think that it was her idea to let Niecy go up to New York to find out what's going on with Mary Jane, because the grandma is like, Mary Jane seems a lot happy. For somebody that just got out of a relationship that you claim to be in love with, you are really happy. You need to find out what's going on. So she trying to call her and interrupting sex sections and all this stuff, and not really getting nothing out of her. So Niecy kind of put it out there like, maybe you should go up there and see what's going on. She was like, no, I can't do that. But you know what? Maybe you could. So Niecy got a fucking free trip and a plane ride. She was like, I know we can find a cheap ticket. I said, bitch, you finna $25 Spirit Airline her ass, okay? Or Frontier, child. Southwest is 89. Bags fly free too, So hey, I said, Niecy, you doing all this to get some dick? You doing all this to get some dick? Okay. I mean, no. Niecy, you still ain't learned. You still have not learned, okay? It looked like you was growing a little bit, but bitch, this ain't the move, okay? Because anything can fucking happen. So at the end of the episode, it ends off with Kara coming back. Like I said, she got her producing title back, plus a bump in her title. She's now senior producer, sharing that title with Justin. All right. So Kara and Mary Jane are hugging it out and all this stuff, and Mary Jane sees Justin, and Justin gives her his wink and all this stuff to make it realize that I heard what you were saying. I took your feelings into consideration, and I did what I had to because I actually care about you. So he say, and I did, talk to the people to get Kara back. And so they was in there talking like, oh, you did that for me, and blah, blah, blah. And she hugging all on them. Face all on the his torso and everything with the arms around him. Mind you, you are in a glass office. Your blinds are not closed. Any and everybody can see this. And who just so happens to see it? Kara. Mary Jane was so enamored until she turned around. She finally opened up her eyes and looked up and realized that Kara is looking at her. And Kara is pissed off. And I feel like Kara has every fucking right to be pissed off, okay? Because this man literally tried to destroy my career, and you've been fucking with him on the low. So now I really can't trust you because you wouldn't tell me what was going on in the first place. So did you have any part of this? Did you know that this shit was going on? What is happening, all right? And then we see on next week's episode, like all this stuff that's happening, and Mary Jane gonna come to Kara and accuse her of ratting or snitching on her. And she said, first of all, you done fucked over so many people that you don't even know who the fuck it is that had something against you to tell on you, because I didn't do it. I said, well, shit, Mary Jane. Mary Jane getting a little taste of karma, okay? A little taste of it. She been a little conniving too, and Justin also. Things are getting good. Things are getting good. It really is. So y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm tired of the sex scenes because they're really not doing nothing for me. Like, Gabrielle Union is a cute woman. She just does nothing for me. So I don't know. And maybe if it was with a chocolate nigga, it probably would have did something. We can get on that later. Because, listen, I got a confession to make to y'all tomorrow, okay? And we'll talk about it later. In my Queen Sugar review. Y'all already know. I just told y'all what it's about, okay? Infer. Anyway, so context clues, my nigga. I will see y'all later. Peace.